the next discussion of the day. And right now we are shifting gears into discussing cybersecurity in the wake of the COVID-19. What exactly is cybersecurity? How can you stay safe as you are staying at home during this pandemic? Well, this morning I'm joined by Dr. Katherine Getao, the CEO of the ICT Authority. Thank you very much for joining me and finding time to join me this morning.
Thank you for having me, Ram, and good morning, viewers.
Yeah, good morning to you too. Remember, we are live on Facebook, so if at all you have any questions, send them in. We are also having our Twitter handle that is up and running. The hashtag, as always, is Good Morning Kenya. Tag me at Ram Aguko, at Jane Oboy, at Ray Manyara, and at Doreen Arange. This discussion on cybersecurity is quite something that has been the talk of town of late. I remember even the PS and the ministry had been talking about this. But I would like us to start just from the ground. By definition, what is cybersecurity?
Well, Ram, I think the key word there is security.
Yeah.
So we're very familiar with our physical security. At home, many of us have burglar proofing. We have gates, some have guards. When you're on the road, you're careful as you move because you want to get where you're going safely and you want to be safe in your house. So cybersecurity is about being safe when you're using your devices. That could be your phone, your tablet, your laptop, or any programmable device. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what it's about.
That's what it's all about.
And especially when you are connected to the internet. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, you've mentioned all of this, and when someone talks about cybersecurity, you've mentioned about people thinking of, computer frames and issues like the servers. But now, how safe can someone be when it comes to maintaining cybersecurity using their own phones? Because now, at this age and time, the phone is the closest thing that you have, and it gives us easy access to the internet.
Yes. Once again, as I explained,
yes.
We understand simple security in the physical realm.
Yes.
If I asked you why you have a door to your house, you'll either be surprised at the question because you'd feel it's very obvious, mm-hmm. or you just tell me, I don't want anybody who wants to come in. I mm-hmm. want to choose who can come into my house and who I don't allow.
It may seem obvious to have a door in the house.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, do you have a password on your phone? Mm-hmm. If you don't have a password, then you don't have a door. Yeah, so anyone who finds your phone can just use it right away because you've left it open for them to use. Mm-hmm. So really, even when you are using your phone, you have to make your choices and say, okay, is it like my house, which should have a door, mm-hmm. which says I have to allow people in? Mm-hmm. Or should I just leave it open, like Uhuru Park, mm-hmm. Where anyone who wants to come in can come in? Mm-hmm. Yes.
So every mobile device, every thing that you have, every account should have a password that is safe and secure. But what is the difference between cybersecurity and information security?
Okay, information security is the broader term which covers everything. So when I came this morning, I had a file which had some instructions. Securing that file is part of information security because it has information about me on that file. Maybe it has my name, my address, my phone number, my email address.
Yeah.
My devices, I have my phone inside my purse there. Securing that phone is all part of information security. But now cybersecurity is just a small part of that, which concerns the electronic devices and especially those which are connected to the internet. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And for information security, it's about the data.
Yes, the word information tells you, because it's really usually what people are trying to steal or damage is the information.
yes.
Before, they were maybe interested in the device, like the laptop. I could
yeah.
steal it because I want to have a laptop.
But now they want to know what is inside the laptop.
Now, what is more valuable than this laptop is the information which is stored inside, and maybe later I'll explain why that information is so valuable.
So you've talked about what people want, and it brings us to cyber attacks. What types of cyber attacks do we have that do we have currently that are pre-existing?
Okay, maybe because I think sometimes when we talk about the attacks, people find it a little bit theoretical. Perhaps what we need to talk about is, what do people want to steal or damage?
The information there.
Okay, one is money. So right now, most of us get our money through devices. We're either using mobile money of some description. Some of us also do online banking. Some of us are paying our bills through the devices. So there's money being transacted. When I pay 5,000 shillings to Kenya Power, they actually receive that amount, even though I haven't given them any notes. Yeah. So the money has been converted to the form of information, and it is a complete transaction. So people are able to steal money. They are also able to steal data. Now you'll ask, how do they steal data? I'm sure you download apps. I'm sure you have a smartphone, Ram, and you download apps. When you're downloading, what does it usually ask you?
Permission.
Yes, can I access your contacts?
Yeah.
Can I access your photos? And many other things. And usually you want it, so you just say, yes,
Accept.
yes, accept, yes.
Sometimes you may not know why they want to access things like the photos.
Okay. So take your contacts. By accessing your contacts, I now know who your friends are and the people who know you. So if I walk up to somebody in town and I say, do you know Ram? Of course, you're famous, so they know you. But if you are not a famous person, the chances that that person knows you would be very slim. But if I had access to your phone book, I'd be able to actually approach people who know you and tell them, oh, Ram said that you should give me 10,000, he'll pay you later by M-Pesa. And they might believe me because of the kind of relationship they have. But actually, I just got that information from your contacts, and I realized that this is a close friend. They are high up in your contact list. You contact them frequently.
Is this the same as what's happening currently, where you just receive a phone call from a strange number, someone saying, oh, tumekutumia M-Pesa hapa?
Yes, exactly. They got the information about your phone, maybe from somebody else who gave them access to their phone book. Now, what about photographs? Photos already have a lot of information. If I'm wearing a school uniform and you see me at Nairobi Primary, you already know that I'm a pupil there. So if I want to kidnap you, I'll be able to go there and wait for you, because I already know from the photographs you posted online
the places you go to,
where you are. But photos also have something called metadata. They store 8 to 16 additional pieces of information when the photo is saved. So that information can also be very handy. So information can be as useful as money, or even more useful. And then there's information like credit card numbers, all this kind of thing, which can also lead to somebody getting money. Something else people try to steal is people's reputation. Using Twitter, Facebook, you can spread true or false but private information about others. And many people will believe it, and that person will be harmed. The last example I'll give, because it's very relevant, especially for children, is grooming. Grooming means when you're online, you can easily pretend to be somebody else.
Some people do that.
Yes, a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Some of them not with malicious intent, but some of them with malicious intent. So I can pretend to be a 6-year-old child, and I can interact with that 6-year-old, and we can become friends on the internet, and I can say my name is Lucy, and soon this child will believe that Lucy is their friend, and soon I'll suggest that we meet at Uhuru Park.
Yeah.
And I could kidnap that child, I could physically or sexually assault that child. There are many things I can do. But the child was not coming to meet Katherine Getao. The child was coming to meet Lucy, the 6-year-old, whom they have been interacting with
on Facebook or
online. And of course, I can create false pictures. I can even create a false picture of myself.
Yeah.
I can try to talk like a 6-year-old so that I'm believed. Yeah, so these are all kinds of risks. But if you think back to what people are trying to do, because those things, the motives have not changed. They're just the ordinary ones that cause people to do the kind of physical crimes. They're very similar. So if we think about the motives, then it will be easy for us to understand what kind of insecurity we can suffer online and to try to mitigate its effects.
But now, all these are the different kinds of cyber attacks that we have so far. But now, what number of, or what levels of attacks are we talking about within and, from within Kenya and out of Kenya?
Well, I think again there, the figures I have are a little old, They're saying that there were like 26 million attacks in June last year. What we need to realize is these attacks are very cheap. Just like when you want to send a message to a group, it's only a few taps, isn't it, on your phone. So this technology enables us to send a message to tens of millions of people very cheaply. So it's easy to attack a large number of people within a very short time. The technology enables it, and that's what we need to be conscious of. A thief can only attack one person or a few, but a cyber criminal, just sitting here tapping, can attack millions of people.
All at once?
Yes.
This has cost implications. How negative can these attacks be on the society, on an individual, and even on a country?
Okay, it's very costly, of course, because we have to invest in protecting ourselves. People lose money, they lose data, and so on. So it's very expensive. However, of course, the technology is worth it. Yeah, even in Kenya, when we had terrorist attacks, we didn't stop moving, isn't it? Because life is beautiful, work is important, leisure is important. So we're not going to stop doing it simply because of this huge potential for attack. What we do is, as individuals, try to act responsibly, as government, as the private sector, and as the whole world. I sit on international committees which deal with cybersecurity. We are trying to counter the problem because it has the potential to damage a very good thing. So we don't want to stop using the technology. We don't want to stop enjoying its benefits, but we do want to invest in making sure that it's as safe as possible for everyone.
Now, as you talk about being safe for everyone, we are in a pandemic. People are staying at home, and people are encouraged to work from home. Meaning, we have people working online. Learning has gone online. We have e-learning, e-transactions, e-business. Everything is online. How do you protect yourself and your family from all these cyber attacks?
Okay. Yes, and that is where the focus should be, how we protect ourselves.
Yes.
Now, one, I find many people don't want to invest in an antivirus. for their device or their computer, I think it's a worthwhile investment. The same way that I find very few Kenyans will build a house without putting burglar proof. Most people will create a wall or a fence and a gate. And so that's an additional investment, isn't it? So I think even as you've spent so much on your device, then it's good to make a small additional investment to make sure that you have a program that is checking what is happening on your device.
All consistently to keep it safe.
Yes. The second thing is, I'm sure you have a smartphone, Ram.
Yes, I do.
And every now and then it tells you that it wants to update.
Yeah.
I'm sure quite often you tell it not now, isn't it? Because you just feel it's wasting your time.
Yeah.
Please allow it to update regularly, because usually it is updating because it has found some weakness somewhere, and it is trying to address that weakness. Yeah, just like it's no use having a fence if it has holes in it. Yeah, every now and then you have to repair it and keep it good. So update.
You know, I like how you're comparing, cybersecurity, protecting your devices with how you protect your home. But as you look at protecting your home, we need to protect our children from cyberbullying and every kind of thing that can affect them psychologically or socially. How can we maintain security for our children even when a parent is not at home? Because you will leave the child in the house, they have the computers, and you do not know what's going on when you're not around physically.
Okay. Firstly, I'm sure you have a wonderful relationship with your children. So the best protection for our children is when there are open lines of communication, because they need to be able to tell you what is happening in their lives, and you need to ask them what is happening. I said one of the most dangerous things on cyber is what I called grooming. That is the people who contact your children and try to get in touch with them without your knowledge. Now, it's nice every evening to ask your kids, what have you been doing online? So that they tell you, and then you are able to see any red flags. There are also what they call parental controls. That is, I believe many schools and other bodies are training parents that you can set those parental controls to prevent your children from accessing certain sites which may be dangerous to them. Some of the parental controls also collect some information. So you need to take a few minutes to check.
You can't be too busy to do that.
You can, if you are too busy, you shouldn't have had children in the first place. Yeah. So if you had children, you have to make a little bit of time for them, because they are your most important thing.
Find out what they've been doing online. Ask them questions.
Ask them questions. Set the parental controls. Take time to check what has been happening. Educate yourself. There are sites which can also tell you a little bit. So it's really up to the parent to spend a little time learning about the technology and also take a little bit of time to check what is going on with your kids when they're online.
But it's quite funny because you have some parents who depend on their children to give them information about the technology that they have bought in the house. It's quite interesting there.
Okay. But it's just like giving your son a car.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yes, he'll probably drive faster than you and learn how to make spins, but you have to make some ground rules, right?
Yeah, you do. Okay, now let's talk about one common thing that has been taking place. Recently, I've had some teleconferencing services. If I would just give an example, Zoom, for example, it has been mentioned as that some of these teleconferencing services are not safe. They are not secure. What should Kenyans do, and Kenyan organizations to do? What should they do to avoid such kind of attacks from even these teleconferencing sites?
Okay, the attack usually is not coming from the teleconferencing site. It's coming from somebody who is trying to either attack the communication that's taking place or even to attack their company, because they're rivals. So, now we have ones which are getting a bad name and people don't want to use them. So there are many motives why criminals would attack. Now, I won't say it's like driving.
Yeah.
Usually you're not allowed to drive unless you have a driving license, isn't it? And it makes sure you know the highway code, you know the controls of the car, and you know how to navigate, because you can do injury to others if you don't know those things. Unfortunately for computing, I can just go and buy a device, then I download some software, and then I just teach myself.
And then you're good to go.
And I'm good to go. Now, I think we need to take some time to educate ourselves. So most of these programs actually have controls which can assist us to be more secure when we're using them, including the teleconferencing. So I would really urge that even as you've decided to use teleconferencing, which is just wonderful, I must say I'm really enjoying the software and using it, and it's really saving us from just sitting at home without doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
However, let us educate ourselves about simple things we can do to make ourselves more secure when we're using the teleconference.
And do you have the available resources? Do you have the ability to educate ourselves, especially even for our parents and those people who are considered to be of some certain age that, this technology came and found them when they have matured up and they're just trying to learn? Do you have the ability to educate them for them to be able to, stay safe with themselves and with their children and with their family at large?
Yes. Most of us know how to use YouTube, isn't it? You can simply type as such, teleconferencing security, and it will come up with so many videos which you can watch, which can give you simple advice about how to protect yourself. So you don't always have to go back to school. You don't always have to buy a big book or manual and read it. There are resources even within the same technology that can teach you about simple measures. We've also within government tried to send some simple guidelines to our workers from home. And I hope they're listening. Sometimes it's boring. The technology is so interesting that you don't want to read other things.
Yeah.
But honestly, we've tried to keep it simple, keep it down to like the way God made the law. He just made 10 commandments, which are easy to memorize. So the things we need to do are not many. Yeah, there are simple measures we can all take, which will make us more secure.
And, I'm looking at a parent who keeps on calling their son or their daughter, even when they're trying to use their phone. They don't know how to do this, so they have to call their son, kuja unisaidie, I want to do this, I want to go to WhatsApp, I want to go to this website. This information is there, and you can be able to get them even through Facebook. But now, as we talk about these cyber attacks, we have a cost globally. The cost coming up to 600 trillion by 2021. Cost coming up to fighting these cyber attacks. Let's narrow it down to Kenya. If the global numbers are 600 trillion by 2021, as a nation, do you think we can be able to have the resources to be able to fight cyber crime and cyber attacks?
Okay, I'll go to your previous comment about asking your children how to use the device first.
Yeah, okay.
That's wonderful. It raises the self-esteem of your children, and it's a wonderful way to interact and to build that relationship where they're able to tell you about what they're doing online. So please don't stop asking your children to help you with the devices. It's a wonderful way to build the relationship, but also teach yourself. Yeah.
Okay. Nice advice.
Now, the question about the 600 trillion. What is the global cost of corruption? What is the global cost of other types of stealing and injuries? What is the global cost of terrorism? Human beings are just being wicked. And cybersecurity is another realm, or insecurity, I almost try to call it. Cyber insecurity is another realm of wickedness, which is very costly to human beings. Yeah. Now, we cannot say that it is too expensive for us, because what is the benefit? The benefits are huge. The fact that our country can still continue working even when we're social distancing or we can't go to the office, that is worth billions,
and it's worth
if not trillions. So the benefit is huge. It's definitely bigger than that 600 trillion. Yeah. However, please, let's stop being wicked. Let's stop creating cyber insecurity, being corrupt, harming one another, being terrorists. Please, let us stop, so that we stop wasting money on things which really should not be happening. Now, I know no one will stop just because I asked them to stop.
Yeah.
So the rest of us, there are things we have to do, and some of those things are costly, but some of those things are not costly. It is just good practices that all of us can take a few minutes to do.
You're saying some are just wicked. And this is why we have laws of the land. This is why we have a constitution.
Yes.
Now, as a nation, do we have cyber legal frameworks or laws or policies that are pre-existing that can be able to curb cyber attacks and cyber insecurity?
Okay. The law does not curb, it deters, or it punishes those who do the bad thing. So the law is very important, of course, because it sets the standard, and it also hopefully deters some people because it shows them what will happen if they're caught doing something, or it actually punishes them if they persist in doing the wrong thing. Yes, we have the Computer and Cybercrimes Act.
Yeah.
We also have the Data Protection and Privacy Act.
And we have the National Cybersecurity Strategy.
Yes, we have a National Cybersecurity Strategy that was launched by His Excellency the President in 2014. So the things are there on paper, but we still have to do the right thing.
Implementation.
Yes.
That is a problem. Now, let's talk about programs. We have programs and projects that we have so far as a nation. What do we have that can be able to empower Kenyans towards this threat of cyber insecurity?
Okay, there's various bodies. We all of us know and love the Communications Authority.
Yes.
And sitting at the Communications Authority, we have a body called the KECET, the Computer Incident Response Unit. And they, every day, day and night, they protect us. As I said, there are millions of attacks happening all the time, and many or most of them are already stopped before they get to us because of the wonderful work that is being done at the KECET. We also have a program also at the Communications Authority called the Child Online Protection Program.
Okay.
And they have been visiting schools and doing other activities to tell children in a simple way about the risks of that can happen when you're using technology, and to train them about simple things that they can do to protect themselves. They also work with parents to enlighten those parents about both the risks and the remedies to those risks. At the ICT Authority, we also have a small set. We help public institutions, including some of our public banks, when they're attacked, to catch the attackers and to stop the attacks. We also do a lot of training We do assessments, so we're able to visit people's premises, including KBC if they asked us to check in the different areas some of the challenges that are there and what you need to do to remedy them. So there are many things. We also have the Cyber Command Center, I should mention them.
Okay.
And they are protecting our strategic systems and our strategic data. So Kenya has tried quite hard to address these issues, but it is an area where everyone is growing. No one can say they're perfect. We're all growing and we're all doing our best to do better every day.
So that is where ICTA comes in.
Yes.
That's coming from the CEO herself.
Yes, we're doing our best. There are times when we're criticized, but we always believe in constructive criticism. Yes, so that we can learn and grow.
Now, speaking of constructive criticism, we have people who should be involved, organizations. You are working with people, organizations, and entities. What items or things should every Kenyan organization or every individual or entity be looking at to be cyber secure?
Okay, firstly, of course, they need to look at this issue. And recently, we've been talking about having it right from the level of the board of the organization. Because right now, for example, there are so many organizations that are actually dependent on this technology for their operations.
Yes.
Even simple restaurants. Now, they're operating through the internet, isn't it? Most of us are ordering our food that way. So your leaders from your board, your CEO, your managers, they should start being aware of this technology because now we need to use it and we need to use it safely. Of course, you should have an assessment of your systems. I think most organizations already have some computers. They already have some systems or some programs running. It's important to get somebody to come and look at your whole environment, and those people are called information systems auditors, and then they tell you you're doing well, but you have a weakness here and here and here, and you need to address those weaknesses so that it will not be easy to attack you. Just simple things, as I've said, putting an antivirus on your device, password protecting your devices so they're not open, they have a door. And being vigilant, checking. Sometimes if you just don't notice, just the way we're monitoring our health, I don't know whether you keep taking your temperature around.
Per day? Or using
do you check?
The thermometer?
Yes, you don't check.
Do you?
Yes, because now we're in the time of COVID, so I'm sort of monitoring myself. If I start coughing, I'll be a bit concerned.
Well, we get checked every day here in KBC.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, so the same way, don't just leave your device loose. Notice what's happening to it. Yeah, so that if you see something strange, you look for assistance.
You mentioned the assessments being done by information systems auditors. How frequent should these assessments be done by in these organizations?
Well, I would advise at least once a year because this is also a very fast-growing technology. And just the same way as we have our statutory audits, financial audits and so on, they're usually annual, although sometimes they happen a lot more frequently, but at least once a year. Yes.
And as you talk about it being done once a year,
At least
once a year.
Yes.
How far should an organization go in terms of investing in this cybersecurity? What are the do's and the don'ts in investing in cybersecurity?
Okay, I think each person has to think, what do I have invested in this technology? There are some organizations where if your technology is not working, you grind to a halt, isn't it? An example of that is a telco, a telecommunications company. They are completely technology dependent. Of course, such an organization has to invest more in technology. As opposed to maybe a library or an organization where maybe life can go on even if the technology is not working. So I think your investment in technology, your investment in cybersecurity should be proportional to your investment in technology. And I'm sure people are wondering what these are. I hope you give me a chance.
Okay, no problem. You can tell us more about this because before we wrap it up.
Yes, I'm sure people have been wondering what these are. This is the teacher device, which is in almost 22,000 primary schools. The DigiSchool program, which is in our schools. This is the device that goes to at least 2 of the teachers in each of the schools.
Distributed in all schools nationwide?
Public primary schools. Yes.
Right. So and, to help in learning?
Yes, sorry, I don't know what's falling. Oh, it's my microphone. Have I damaged it?
Yeah, that's okay. Just leave it there.
I'll keep it there.
So you're having, that's an iPad?
It's a learner device. It's a tablet. And we have devices enough for one class between standards 1 and 3 in those schools. So this has been provided by the government of Kenya.
All right, what we'll do is, because there's a problem as we fix your sound, let's head over to Doreen on the other side of the studio to take a look at what's happening on social media. Doreen.
Well, we are live on Facebook and YouTube at KBC Channel 1 TV. That's on Facebook, or you can stream us live on YouTube. So that means if you don't have access to your TV and you're moving about your businesses, then you can stream us live on either of those platforms that I've mentioned. Also on Twitter is at KBC Channel 1 TV. Tell us what you think about the discussion, especially on matters to do with cyber security. And I'm just looking at some of the comments in this regard of matters to do with cyber security. At Getty N says that small businesses should be aware of their weaknesses and simple measures they can adopt to guard against cybercrime. So it continues to say that sophisticated criminal networks don't discriminate against company size or industry. And this is a question that I'd also love our guests to address, because oftentimes, especially for the SMEs, they think that they do not, for those that are using, SMEs that are using online platforms, there's that tendency to want to imagine that there's no need for me to have antivirus, there's no need for me to ensure that I am secure even as I'm using this platform, simply because it's a small business. So I'd want our guests to address this issue, especially for small business enterprise. Is there a need for them to also learn more about cybersecurity, and how can they protect themselves in as much as, yes, they're small businesses?
You take on that.
Okay, as I said, your investment in cybersecurity should be proportional to your investment in technology. So if you have a kiosk where you're not really, maybe you're just using your mobile phone, I don't expect you to have a huge cybersecurity budget. But if you're a startup that is using technology maybe to deliver some goods or services, obviously if your technology goes wrong, the rest of your business is going to lose a lot of money. Why would you spend 20 or 30,000 on your phone or on your computer, and you're not willing to spend 1,000 or 2,000 to protect your device? So I would say, if you are a small business, just look at your technology exposure. How much of your budget is going to technology? If a lot of your budget is going to technology, then a proportion of it, 10% or more, should be going into securing your technology.
All right, so look at your business. In as much as, yes, you're a small business enterprise, it is still important to be cyber secure, even as you're using the online platforms. There's also another tweet from @Grant saying that spending more money on tech doesn't mean you're more secure. So cybersecurity needs to be built into IT solutions themselves, rather than appearing as an afterthought that's addressed with the latest cyber tech solutions. Again, this is also a question I'd like to pose to our guests, because there's also that tendency, that mentality of people that, especially that are into technology and tech, they tend to think that I know so much of the technology. I am so vast with tech, so I don't need to be cyber secure. Maybe what is your message for such persons who have that mentality that I know so much about tech, so I don't need to be secure? What would you have to say in regards to such kind of persons?
Okay, thank you so much. Regarding the tweets, I have some sympathy for that approach, in that really we need to go to the technology providers and tell them that when I buy a car, yes, I know I have to buy petrol and a few other things.
Yeah.
But I normally expect that incorporated in the car are all the safety aspects that are needed to protect me when I'm in that vehicle. So I do have some sympathy for that approach. But since we're not quite there yet, and also some of the devices we have are a little older, just like the old cars, they don't have the airbags and all that. We still need to be knowledgeable about cybersecurity, because we need to be responsible to a certain degree for our own security. Now, for those who are complacent, who are saying, I don't need to be cyber secure, I think you'll soon find out that you do. Because especially now, when many people are at home, some of them are actually using that time to do cybercrime. So it is better to be safe than sorry. I think that's the saying.
That's the real.
Yes.
Yeah, better to be safe than sorry. But I want us to look at one last tweet. At Amazing Drag is saying that the life of hackers is getting harder. Companies are making progress in securing their networks against cyber adversaries. Now, coming down to our country and from an ICT perspective, do you feel like the companies in our country is doing enough to protect probably their employees, protect themselves against cyber adversaries? What are your thoughts?
We're certainly getting better. And I think even the fact that you have invited me here today means that cybersecurity is now on the map, which is very important. And I'm happy to see a small but growing cybersecurity sector, because it's also a business opportunity for Kenya. The whole world is looking for cybersecurity experts, is looking for cybersecurity products that can help them better protect their environment. So there is a huge opportunity for Kenya if we grow in this area. I won't say we're there, because I think all the cyber criminals in the world would then direct themselves at Kenya to prove otherwise. But we are really growing in this area, and we've made appreciable progress.
All right, finally, you have one more thing, Doreen?
Yes, just a question. And yes, I'm hearing what our guest is saying, that yes, you're making progress. Yes, you're getting there, making it difficult for hackers. But again, it comes down to training. Are we doing enough training in terms of sensitizing people to understand the importance of securing themselves, to understand the importance of when they are online? It is necessary and important for them to ensure that they are taking care of themselves in terms of training and sensitization. Are we doing enough, as much as we need to be doing?
Well, I hope I've done a little bit today.
You've done something. And
I hope you have a lot of viewers, so the message went out. So this is part of it: radio, TV, the news, all the news channels.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that I do see at least a couple of times a week that there is something in the media about cybersecurity. So there's awareness creation going on, but it can never be enough. Just like the other types of security. As human beings, we need to keep being reminded. Yeah, we don't learn once.
All right, yeah, we don't learn once.
So let us all keep sharing with our friends, with our relatives, with our workmates, and invite us more to talk about it, so that your viewers and listeners can also learn about cybersecurity.
Yeah, we will invite you, because this conversation is quite interesting. But as we come to a close, just a final word from you. You are demonstrating something using these devices. You're telling us something about them, and I believe you had this in hand. So what is this all about? Yes.
Okay, so since 2015, the government of Kenya decided that this technology was needed in schools, and that it's going to be one of the major ways of making the competency-based curriculum effective. So we have just completed phase 1, and this is the one where I said, I don't want to say the exact number, but it's just under 22,000 public primary schools have already received a number of these devices, and the teacher device as well, to enable them to do online learning.
So this is for the teachers?
Yeah, the blue one is for the teachers, and the lime green one is the tablet for the students.
All right.
We're currently looking at how these can be used now that the children are at home, so that children in the rural areas can also do online learning the way many of the children in urban areas have been able to do.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Those are quite some big steps that you've made as a nation and as a society. That is Dr. Katherine Getao, the CEO of ICT Authority. Thank you very much, Dr. for joining me. That was quite interesting there.
Thank you for having me, Ram.
All right. And that brings us to a close of Good Morning Kenya. That's all the time we had this morning. My name is Ram Aguko. On behalf of everyone that made this show a success, I want to say may God bless you and may God bless the work of your hands.
And my name is Doreen Arange. Have a beautiful morning.